Ahotep by Ancient Egyptian, JTP.W. Alternatively anglicized Ahotep or Ahhotep. Aya the moon is satisfied was an ancient Egyptian queen who lived circa 1560 to 1530 BC. During the end of the 17th dynasty of Egypt, she was the daughter of Queen Teticheri known as Teti the Small, and Senecteteramos, and was probably the sister, as well as the queen consort, of Pharaoh Seqenenre-Tao. Ahotep had a long and influential life. She ruled as regent for her son Ahmose-I-4. Time. Died Thebes, burial Thebes, Sposekenenin Tau Iswekamos, Ahmose Iahhotep Nefertari, Ahmose Saper bin Puamos Heni Temipatamus Nebeta. Ahmose Tumerasi Egyptian Nemea are dynasties of 10th dynasty of Egypt. Father Senectener, Mother Teticheri. Religion. Ancient Egyptian religion. Her titles include Great Royal Wife and Associate of the White Crown Bearer, Nefertiti. The title King's Mother MWT NSWT was found on the Deir al-Bahari Coffin. The naming and numbering of the queens named Ahotep has changed over the years, outlining the different naming and numbering conventions over the years. Late 19th century, Ahotep I was thought to be the wife of Seqenenre-Tao. The coffins of Deir al-Bahari and Abu al-Naga were both thought to be hers by some experts. Ahotep II was thought to be the wife of Amenhotep I. Some thought the coffin from the Deir al-Bahari cache belonged to the queen called Ahotep II in this scheme. Late 20th century, in the 1970s, it was commented on that the Deir al-Bahari coffin bears the title King's Mother and Amenhotep I has no son. The title must refer to the mother of Ahmose-I. In 1982, Robin suggests that Ahotep I is the owner of the gilded coffin from Abu al-Naga. Ahotep II is the queen mentioned on the Deir al-Bahari coffin, and Ahotep III is the queen mentioned on the statue of a Prince Ahmose, 21st century, following. Dodson and Hilton 2004. Ahotep I is the wife of Seqenenre-Tao and mother of Ahmose-I. Ahotep II is the queen known from the gilded coffin found at Abu al-Naga, and possibly a wife of Kamose. There is no Ahotep III, Tenishidpura, mainly on the basis of the king's daughters Sakamos and Satjihidi, concluded that there was only one Ahotep at this time. Ahotep I was the daughter of Queen Teticheri and Pharaoh Senecteteramos. She was the royal wife of the 17th dynasty. King Seqenenre-Tao, he is believed to have been her brother. Ahotep was probably the mother of Pharaoh Ahmose-I. Her exact relationship to Pharaoh Kamose is not known, but he may have been her brother-in-law, the brother of Seqenenre-Tao, or her son. Other children of Queen Iahhotep I include the later Queen Ahmose Nefertari, who was married to her brother, Pharaoh Ahmose-I. There were also Prince Ahmose Saper, Prince Binpu, Princess Ahmose Henetemepet, Princess Ahmose Nebeta, and Princess Ahmose Tumerasi. Stela from the reign of Ahmose I describes Ahotep I as ruling Egypt and uniting its people, attributes that are normally only reserved for kings. It is not known when these events took place, but presumably after the death of Seqenenre-Tao and Kamose, when Ahmose-I was too young to rule. Ahotep is mentioned on the Kars Stela CG 3403, which dates to year 10 of Amenhotep I, and her steward Ife mentions her on his Stela CG 34009. Ife refers to Ahotep as the mother of Ahmose-I, and would later be the steward of Queen Ahmose, wife of Thutmose I. This suggests Ahotep I may have died at a fairly advanced age during the reign of Thutmose I. Ahotep I's Eder coffin was eventually reburied in TT 320 in Deir al-Bahari. The coffin shows the queen with a tripartite wig and a modius. The body is covered in a rishi-designed feathers and is similar to the Eder coffins of Ahmose Nefertari and Ahmose Meritamen. Ahotep I's original tomb is not known, unless this queen is identical to Ahotep II. Measurements of the coffin found in Abu al-Naga, however, show that it is too large to have belonged with the Deir el-Bahari coffin. This has been used to argue that Ahotep I cannot be identical to Ahotep II. An alternative interpretation has been developed by N. Macy Roth. This suggests that Seqenenre-Tau had 3 queens. Ahotep I, who was the mother of a Prince Ahmose, not the future pharaoh, and several princesses named Ahmes. Sechehudi, who was the mother of a princess named Ahmes. Tedesheri, who was the mother of Kamose, Ahotep II, and Osi-Enutta in this interpretation. Kamose married his sister Ahotep II and then were the parents of Ahmose I, Ahmose Nefertari, and Ahmose Kamose.